cord is always in the way. Hold on one sec. Okay, shake it a little bit. I am back with our scrapping organization, getting so close to the end. We're on week 22, and there's only of my little spreadsheet assessment tool. There's only 2 pages left, and a lot of the other stuff, you'll see. Yeah, it's anyway. Yeah, some of this will be harder to kind of, in my space, pinpoint a spot, because I'm still kind of trying to figure that out, but that's the whole point of this, right? But if that's all I have to figure out, then great. But anyway, on to week 22. And now I had mentioned this a few weeks ago that I was working on something for my dies and my die cutting machine and my stamps, and I got it, and I'm very happy with my decision. So week 22 is all about dies and die cutters. I have a silhouette. It's on the other side of the room now. I have more space on my desk. So I have moved my cute little Bira mini die cutter onto my desk right next to me, along with a basket of my hard stamps, my big, like, the woodblock stamps, because I only have a handful. And then my heat tool is right there, so I can do all my embossing, and then so are my brushes and any other stamps that are not cling. But which this is not very organized. I gotta work on that. It's in a new organized spot that's easier for me, but this thing itself is not organized. So to be worked on. But for the actual dies, I did some research to try and figure out what kind of different storage systems were out there. I'm going to cross this off while we're talking about this. This is week 22, by the way, if I did not say that. I did some research on different kinds of storage units that are out there, ways to store your dies, and I really liked the idea of this. So this is from Zutter. There's some other companies that are that are the same. I got this off Amazon, but I'm pretty sure you can get this on scrapbook.com. They have some other things too. There's other companies that make like envelopes and things to keep your stamps and dies in. I really like this because I literally open this one box, flip through, and I can see everything. And all those other storage systems, I understand, like especially like Totally Tiffany makes some amazing ones. That was kind of like second on my list. This was a lot cheaper. And it fit in my cube. It wasn't too bulky. It's literally just one thing. It's pretty heavy though, because I have, yeah. But what I'm getting at is this worked best for me, and it might not work best for you. Definitely do, if you're looking into die storage, and look into a lot of options and really figure out what you want. I wanted a place to put my stamps and dies because I honestly, my collection is growing, but I don't have a ton because I don't do a ton with my mini die cutting machine. But this way, if I'm going to sit down and make a bunch of cards, which I said was a goal this year, I still haven't made any new ones yet this year, but I've also been really busy with design team stuff for paper issues. So, but my goal is one of these days to sit down and literally just stamp and die cut all the things. And I have a project coming up with my son where we are actually doing just that. I've already stamped everything and we're going to die cut everything, and that's going to be lots of fun. But I just wanted to show this to you. And like I said, there's somebody's coming out with a new one. Like, it's getting released in February. A die storage, and I can't think of who it is right at the moment. But I think it's going to be kind of similar. I think there's magnets involved. But that's what really drew me to this Zutter system. And this is supposed to be called, I think it's called the Really Useful Tote, which is kind of a funny name. But it's just, a thick tote. Is it a half gallon? Is that maybe where that says that? I don't know. It just is, it says, it's a 4-liter tote. Oh, interesting. But yeah, it's called the Really Useful Products is the company. And it's called, and Zutter also, so I don't know if it's like sub company or whatever, but I liked it because it snaps shut, so it's not, I can flip it upside down, it's not going to, things aren't going to fall out, but it's just an easy open. And then they're like little file folders that are magnet on one side and not magnet on the other side. Now, the fun thing figuring out was when I did open this for the first time and start putting everything in here is that it's technically magnet, the magnet's in the middle. So it's technically magnet on both sides, but there definitely is one side that the metal dies stick to better than the other. And I couldn't tell. And so it was kind of funny to be like, wait, was it this side or that side? But there's a clear plastic coating you just peel off for the cling side. So I have a ton of stamps. I didn't leave the plastic. As you can see, the plastic is right here for this one on top. And actually this one is underneath, because some brands you can like peel the design thing off the packaging and stick it down because it's more like a sticker. So I did that for some of them if I could. But the other ones I just stuck on here, and if I knew that the words were really tiny and they were going to be really hard to see, I kind of keep them in order so I have an idea of where it is. Yeah, it's going to be reversed. Like everything's backwards, it's not lined up, but I know that all these words are in this section. And then that way I keep it organized. But yeah, so this side I have just my dies that don't go with any sets. So these are just my dies I have. And they stick pretty good. The magnets do. Yeah, these ones are sticky yet too from their packaging. Yeah. And I still got to clip them apart. But yeah, so these, and I can fit more on here. I just did it like this because I had only clipped off these two. But so this is the magnet side and this side's only a cling side. So this one I have just stamps and dies that don't go with anything. And then it comes with this in-between thing so that your stamps aren't sticking to each other. And so that if you accidentally don't clean your stamps all the way, it's not gonna get the other stamps dirty. So so you can get sheets that are only cling. So this sheet is an only cling. So I have a lot more stamps than I do dies. So I have some that are just stamps on both sides, but I love it because then I can literally sift through. And I sorted mine kind of at the time I did. I think I've screwed up the thing since I've sorted through, but that's fine. It's easy to go put back together. I've sorted mine by Christmas, and then I have, if it's a stamp and die set that goes together, I'm making sure I put it on the magnet side together. So there's a set, and then these are just some random stamps. So I tried to do that. Like if it was stamp and die together, I used the magnet one, and I put them together. And I just love that I can store them all together and I can see, oh, here's all the dies that go with the stamp set. Here's the dies that go with the stamp set. And I just put them on here how they fit, and it's fine. But then I just put the cling design on top so I know what they look like, so I don't have to try and imagine. And then, I was hoping to be able to remember what company each of them were from, but I don't think I'm going to. That's the hardest part, because I know these are Jelly Bean, and hopefully I'll always remember that, but I'll probably forget someday. But yeah, so this is what I got, and I absolutely love it. I love that sometimes the stamps just really stick, but if I wanted to too, I could literally just dump this whole thing out. And then I could also prop it up inside this. And so I have room to add a few more if I want. Just be careful that if you're going to get this, you get the ones that are magnetic and not just cling. I did end up buying some just cling because I knew I had more stamps than I had dies. So I do have a couple that are empty. So I accidentally put stamps on ones that are magnetic, so I'll just switch them out when I reorganize. And it's not hard to. That's the nice thing. They come off really nice. They're not super sticky on there. And so this is how I like to, because then now I can look at everything that I have instead of every package, open it. I know a lot of those things are clear and you can see them, but still you have to open the package, just peel it open. This is literally set this next to me, peel it off. I'm done. So that's what I like about this. There's another system like this. It's a little bit smaller, but it was only for stamps. I don't think it was magnetic. I don't remember who that was by, but there's a couple systems out there. So make sure you just figure out which one works best for you. And this one's going to work best for me. And I'm storing it right in my cubby, where all my stamps and stuff were. So it's still out of the way, but so this way I can flip through what I'm going to want. I can set it next to me. And then I have my space here I can stamp, and then I can put it back. It's literally in arm's reach. and then grab the next thing and then put it back. You know, it's working for me and access wise. So I'm excited. I hope you can find a good way to organize all your stamps and dies, and you do it in a way that you love it, not a way that you're going to hate it. And maybe I'll hate this in a few years, but right now, this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. It's working exactly the way I wanted it to, and that's all that matters. So I'm just going to toss these back in here. This is also just a cling one, no magnet. You can tell by the heaviness, like this is so much lighter when it's just... Because I have another die and stamp set that I got from the new Doodlebug collection. So stay tuned for that coming up in February. My son and I are going to make, he's going to join me on my YouTube channel, and we're going to make his Valentine's Day cards together. So, but, okay, so this is what I'm doing for my dies and stamps. I'll talk to you next week about what we're doing with templates, which I don't have a lot of, so we might, again, combine a couple weeks. And, yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend. Bye.